Have you ever experienced a skin infection? Did you know that viruses, bacteria, fungi, and parasites can all cause those skin infections? What more is, those infections can range from mild to severe, and it is transmissible. Good day to one and all. I am Mikhail Rishamay B. Franculio, grade 11 Istamsi, from Group 3. Pistia, Stratiotes for ringworm of scalp and other skin infection. Today, our team will introduce to you our research. But then, let me introduce to you first my fellow researchers.
Vladimir Abarca, Kathleen Cabilin, Krista Lauren Antonio, Lawrence Bantillo, Gian-Marc Arboleda, Clyde Cordeta, Kurt Michael Padilla, Jonar Lirom, Rowell Igano, and Carl Toscano.
Now that you have already known each one of us, let me introduce to you the agenda of our Chapter 1, the research problem. Here we have the background of the study, framework of the study, statement of the problem, research hypothesis, scope and delimitation of the study, significance of the study, and lastly, the definition of terms.
Background of this study. Ringworm scalp is a highly contagious infection that usually spread through person-to-person contact, or by sharing combs, towels, hats, or pillows. Ringworm scalp is an infection that can affect people of any age. Nonetheless, this infection is most common in children, since ringworm scalp can also be a cause of getting in contact with small animals, like kittens, guinea pigs, and more. Ringworm scalp is also called tinea capitis. This infection affects your scalp and hair shafts, causing small patches of itchy, scaly skin. Another part of our research is Pistia stratiotes. Pistia stratiotes, or water lettuce, form dense mats that clogs waterways, making boating, fishing, and other water activities impossible. Pistia stratiotes is considered as a fruital plant since it has unknown uses except for decorative use. Water lettuce is also called a noxious plant in other countries, since it has invasive properties and it also believed to have toxic effects on humans. Nevertheless, it has been proven by the study of Jha, Sharma, and Ganesh 2012 that Piscis stratus has an antioxidant and wound healing potential.
The first theory is the triage theory. According to Amit's 2011, triage theory, which proposes the body of developed and rationing response to shortage of micronutrients or vitamins and minerals throughout evolution. When cells run out of vitamin or mineral, that scarce micronutrients is allotted to proteins essential for short-term survival. This theory is relevant to our research since Pistia stratiotes is rich in vitamin K, and vitamin K is essential in triage theory for optimal function of VKD proteins that are important to maintain long-term health. Therefore, knowing this theory will assist us in better understanding to our research. Second theory is the epidemiological trends in skin mycosis worldwide. Based on Havlikova, Zika, and Friedrich 2008, epidemiological trends in skin mycosis worldwide, the high prevalence of superficial mycotic infection shows that 20 to 25% of worldwide population has skin mycosis, making this one of the most frequent form of infection. This is relevant to our study since one of the most frequent forms of infection mentioned in the research is the infection or Tanea capitis, which corresponds to our research. Therefore, understanding this theory will help us better deal with our research problem.
The last theory is the anti-dermatophytic activity of Pesostratios theory. According to Vidaseramoni 2005, Pesostratios leaves are used in traditional medicine for the treatment of ringworm infection of the scalp, syphilitic eruptions, skin infections, boils, and wounds. The oil extracts of Pesostratios is used in the treatment of inflammations, piles, ulcers, and syphilitic infections and burns. The results of the present work indicates that Pesostratios leaves possess antifungal properties, which explains the use of this plant in folk medicines for the treatment of various diseases whose symptoms might involve fungal infections and underline the importance of the ethnobotanical approach for the selections of the plant in the discovery of new bioactive compounds. A conceptual framework is a representation of the relationship you expect to see between the variables, or the characteristic that properties that you want to study. we use the independent variable dependent paradigm. The independent variable is the main materials or ingredients of study, namely water lettuce, aloe vera, sunflower seeds, essential oil, and soap base. The independent variable affects the corresponding dependent variable, which is the Stratiotes soap.
Statement of the problem. The research questions that will guide this study are as follows. How can a fatal plant be useful to humans as an effective antibacterial for ringworm of scalp? How can we lessen the cost of treatments for ringworm of the scalp? What is the antifungal and antibacterial activity of Pistia stratiotes against the strains of fungi and bacteria that cause skin infections? What is the efficacy of Pistia stratiotes in treating skin infections in animals or humans compared to conventional treatments? What are the adverse effects associated with the use of Pistia stratiotes for treating skin infections?
Research hypothesis. Now, Pistia Stratiotes will not an effective soap. Unlike other soap, this will be not very effective because ingredients is not really for skin infection. Alternative, Pistia Stratiotes will be an effective soap base since the ingredients used is for skin infection treatment.
Scope and delimitation. The purpose of this research was to address the issue of ringworm of the scalp and other skin infections within a specific community. The study was conducted from March 12, 2023 to May 20, 2023 in Barangay Parena, Carigara, Leyte. The participants of this study comprised individuals aged 18 years old and above, encompassing both males and females. The total number of participants was 50 individuals. The primary objective of this research was to develop a cure for individuals in the community who were affected by ringworm of the scalp and other skin infections. By focusing on the specific group, we aim to provide targeted and effective solutions to address their medical condition.
Significance of the study. Discovery of this study will lead on to medical field to cure people, particularly people who have ringworm of the scalp and their skin infection, especially farmers or anyone that is dealing with ringworm of the scalp and other skin infections as a problem. Pistia stations is aggressive and difficult to control that they are labeled as noxious in some part of the world too. It may seem like a futile plant to others. It has been proven to have antioxidant and healing potential that's that skin infection and wound.
Definition of terms. Pistia stratiotes, commonly known as water lettuce, it is a floating aquatic plant that belongs to the Araceae family, which is native to tropical and subtropical regions. Ringworm, a fungal infection that can affect the skin, scalp, and nails. It is not caused by a worm but rather by various species of fungi known as dermatophytes. Antifungal. In microbiology, it is known as antimycotic, which means present such disease caused by fungi, which also means that the certain product is being applied or used to stop or prevent mycosis like ringworm. Antibacterial. By comparing antibacterial to antiseptic, they are both used to kill bacteria, but the difference of these two is that the antibacterial is like on drugs, that you can wipe it off on your body, such as alcohol, while antiseptic is like on Zonrox and other cleaning chemicals. But since nowadays the world upgrade, people invented antiseptic that is like an antibacterial, for example, Lysol for hand wash. Phytoconstituents, a phytochemical component fighting infection and promoting the faster wound healing process.
For the second chapter, review of literature, our agenda are abstract, introduction, conceptual literature, research literature, and lastly, the conclusion.
Abstract.
Ringworm of the scalp and other skin infections affect millions of people worldwide and are caused by fungal and bacterial pathogens. However, synthetic drugs used for treatment often have adverse effects and lead to drug resistant strains. Therefore, there is a growing interest in natural remedies with antimicrobial properties. Pisistratos an aquatic plant known as water lettuce, has been traditionally used in various cultures for skin ailments, and recent studies show it has potent antifungal and antibacterial properties. This research paper aims to review the literature on Pistia potential for healing ringworm of the scalp and other skin infections. It will discuss the bioactive compounds contributing to its therapeutic effects, the mechanisms of its antimicrobial activity, and its possible use as a natural remedy for skin infections. This review will provide valuable insights into the viability of Stratiotes as an alternative treatment option for these conditions. Introduction of RRL. Pistia stratus is a small evergreen perennial plant with feathery roots, free-floating in lakes, ponds, dams, and irrigation. The plant forms rosettes of leaves up to 10 centimeters wide and 6 centimeters tall, with a flowering stem up to 12 centimeters tall, according to Fern and Morris, 2014. In addition, water lettuce is often used as a oxygenator in aquariums, ponds, and is also used as a food source for waterfowl, like ducks and other animals. This plant can grow rapidly and invasively. It has a range of medicinal application and is also used as a source of organic matter that removes toxins from polluted water, as stated by Fern and Morris, 2014. This plant also has many medicinal properties. Ringworm scalp is a fungal infection that affects the scalp and other area of the skin. Another name for this infection is Tenea capitis. The reason it's called ringworm is because it can result in a rash that looks like a ring. It is typically itchy and red. Ringworm can infect anyone of any age. If you have direct contact with the ringworm infected part of someone else's body, or get in touch with their clothes, combs, and etc., it is most likely for you to get infected as well, since it is a contagious skin infection, as stated by Stanford Medicine 2023. Ringworm scalp appear more often during warm weather months.
Conceptual literature.
For the properties of Stratiotes, this literature review focuses on what are the properties of Stratiotes that can cure skin infections and foster the healing of wounds. Tuleka and Parashar, 2017, performed a study to investigate the antimicrobial and antioxidant activity of Stratiotes, wherein they examined the leaves and roots of water lettuce. They found out that the leaves of Stratiotes has a better antioxidant than the roots. The plant extracts is a vigorous against any microorganism agents. Pesistratios, also known as water lettuce, investigated that it could be advised potential source of natural antioxidant and antimicrobial for skin infections. As stated by Abraham Chakraborty, Chaco, and others 2014, Pesistratios is a plant that exhibited strong antibacterial and antioxidant properties as well as anti-cancer actions. Alkaloids, phytosterols, phenols, flavonoids, and tannins are present in Pesistratios and possess a number of medical benefits. The plant has medicinal property due to the presence of these phytochemicals.
Characteristics of Pistia Stratiotes. Pistia Stratiotes is a type of floating plant that does not have a stem. It consists of circular arrangement of leaves that can range in diameter from 5 to 25 centimeters. It also has short runners that produce new plants. The plant has an extensive network of fibrous roots that hang down underwater, according to the article of Wicktro 2022. Pistia Stratiotes can have severe negative impacts on both environment and economy of areas where it is present. The interconnected circular arrangement of leaves of the plant creates dense mats that can cause many problems according to Rivers 2002.
Nutritive value and biological activities of Pistis Stratiotes. Water lettuce, scientifically known as Pistis Stratiotes, is a remarkable plant with a wide variety of biological activities and nutritive values. One worthy attribute of water lettuce is its antioxidant property, which plays a crucial role in improving wound healing and stimulating skin regeneration. Extracts obtained from water lettuce have been found to possess antioxidant properties that actively support and expedite the healing process. The plant contains several compounds that contribute to its wound healing capabilities, either independently or in conjunction with other compounds, as stated by Jha Sharma Ganesh, and others 2023. Additionally, a research article by Khan, Marwat, Gull, and others 2014 sheds light on the diverse array of biological activities exhibited by Pistis. These activities include antibacterial, antioxidant, bronchodilatory, anti-tumor, antifungal, diuretic, antidiabetic, and antimicrobial properties. The wide range of beneficial activities demonstrated by water lettuce highlights its value and versatility as a plant.
Furthermore, the nutrient contains of water lettuce make it a potential candidate for use as a fertilizer. Khan, Morwart, Gold, and others, 2014, in addition to its medical and healing properties. Pistia stratus offer an added advantage in the agricultural sector by serving as a potential source of nutrients for plants.
As my conclusion to the conceptual literature of medicinal uses of Pistia stratiotes from the review article that is a compilation of all the May 2023 updated information regarding its phytochemical, pharmacological, medicinal, bioremediation potential, allelopathy, utilization, and management of water lettuce and water hyacinth. Pistia stratiotes, or commonly known as water lettuce, are from the family of Araceae and was proven that it possesses different properties such as diuretic, anti-diabetic, anti-dermatopyric, antifungal, and antimicrobial properties. In fact, it was being used in various medicines for treatments like eczema, leprosy, ulcers, stomach disorder, throat and mouth inflammation, and many more. Although its phytochemical and pharmacological activities has already been studied, they still believe that the results are very intriguing and says that this plant should be studied more extensively to confirm the reproducibility of those results, and also to reveal other potential therapeutic effects along with some leads with possible isolation of active biomoieties and their mechanism of action. However, on the recent study, Adeyemi, D. and Chakran of year 2016, they indicate that medical plants have been used throughout human history for medical purposes, with many of them attributed to Pistia stratiotes, particularly leaves. They also state that the root was used as emollient and diuretic, while leaves infusions were used for treatment of dropsy, kidney afflictions, dysentery, anemia, eczema, leprosy, piles, and sipils. And they aim to investigate more the phytochemicals and antioxidant activities of meridol and hexane extracts of the leaves of Pistia ischiorhyotis.
Leaf extract of Stratiotes. According to the study of Kumar, Bose, Raut et al. 2010, the Stratiotes has many medicinal properties, especially pointing out the leaves, that has an antiseptic that prevents the growth of diseases causing microorganisms. And the methanol extract of Physiostratus leaves possesses anti-nociceptive activities stated by Ramon, Hake, Hazanusaman, and others 2011. The anti-nociceptive agents whose efficacy in reducing pain is widely recognized in various pain conditions, including post-surgical pain and chronic pain. These facts indicate that Physiostratus can be used as a traditional medicine.
Vitamins and minerals present in water lettuce. According to the article of Anna Carolina Dornelas and others, 2020, two greenhouse experiments were carried out to evaluate the phytofermentation potential. The results showed a high potential of water lettuce to absorb and tolerate zinc, accumulating preferably in the roots. A recent article was created by Housing.com 2023. Water lettuce in high in vitamins A, C, and K, and it has anti-inflammatory properties. It also contains a good amount of beta carotene as well as some minerals such as iron, calcium, and magnesium. Water cabbage does not contain any toxin and it is safe for people of all ages to consume. According to the article by Fund Informer 2019, water lettuce is toxic if ingested by small animals like dogs, fish, koi, and goldfish. In particular, can kill their water lettuce plants by eating its roots.
Origin of ringworm of scalp Tanaya capetis. A dermatophyte infection of the scalp and hair known as Tanaya capetis typically affects children. Treatment is guided by the specific organisms involved and should consist of systematic agents as well as adjuvant topical treatment. Macer Nenov Rainel et al. 2022. According to the article of Ghost Ravi 2015, that provides insight into ringworm of the scalp, Tanaya capitis is common fungal infection that affects the scalp and hair in children. This study aimed to determine the prevalence and risk factors associated with Tanaya capitis in primary school children in Southeast Eastern Iran.
Treatment for Tinea capitis. In addition to the aforementioned antifungal medications and hygiene practices, exploring natural remedies like Stratiotes can offer a complementary approach to healing ringworm of the scalp and other skin infections. Although the direct correlation between Stratiotes and ringworm of the scalp has been explicitly discussed in the available literature, its potential as a healing agent in various skin conditions cannot be overlooked.
To summarize the natural remedies for ringworm of infection according to the article of Healthline.com, year 2022, people have used home remedies for ringworm for many years before researchers invented antifungal treatments. These remedies involves apple cider vinegar, coconut oil, turmeric, and essential oil, which are from the extracts of flowers, herbs, and other types of plants. It is believed that these remedies contain certain properties that helps kill fungal cells by damaging their cell membranes. And well, to support this article, we all know that the use of natural remedies are one of the important part of humanity. People back then did not have today's scientific knowledge. Therefore, people on those days only rely on the herbs and other types of plants. Indeed, Pistia stratiotes can also be used as natural remedy for the skin infections which caused by the fungi because just like any other herbal medicine I mentioned earlier, Pistia stratiotes contain certain properties as well, which might help kill fungal cells by damaging their cell membranes. Actually, in relation to this, if we can recall, this was all mentioned earlier by my fellow researchers, from the properties, characteristics, up to the abilities of the Pistia stratiotes itself. It conveys that this plant from the root to the extracts of its leaves can be a great benefit in medicine, especially when it comes to healing because of its various biological activities, properties, and characteristics, such as antibacterial, antioxidant, and antidermatophytic, antimicrobial, antifungal, and more. Indeed, Pistia stratiotes can also be used or just contributes to the process of eliminating those fungal cells by damaging their cell membranes. Through this, we'll be able to help and create an effective natural treatment for the people who are suffering from the skin infection without them spending too much money. Aside from that, they can rest assured that this treatment is not toxic and not associated with any chemical which can cause any side effects depending on the human's ability and condition.
To summarize, this literature review highlights the surprising finding that a seemingly fertile plant like Stratiotes can be used to effectively treat ringworm and other skin infections. By utilizing this plant as a soap, individuals, particularly those from less fortunate countries or families, can enjoy healthier skin without fungal infections.
Finally, for the third chapter, methodology, our agenda are research design, research local, respondents of the study, research instruments, data collection, and a statistical treatment of the data. Research design. Our study used the experimental research design, Where does us, the researchers, examine truly the degree to which group this research will be effective and worth it. Our research design was, in other words, surveying. We provided questionnaires and we conducted interview. Our research design practically focused on the group discussions to the respondents of our study. Moreover, we also uses the purposive non-probability sampling on the collection of data from the target respondents of the study, which means only those people who will be selected from the population are those that suits our research best. It's more likely those that will benefit more.
Research Local. Barangay Parena, Carigara, Leyte is a great place to study people with scalp, ringworm, and other skin infections for the following reasons. First, Barangay Parena is known for its many farmers. Farming involves contact with soil, plants, and animals, which increases the risk of skin infections. Studying this group can provide insights into the link between farming practices and skin infections.
Respondents of the study. We, the researchers, selected the target respondents for this study. And these are the farmers and the residents in Barangay Parina, Carigara, Leyte. The total numbers of farmers and residents in Barangay Parina, Carigara, Leyte are 809, while the total number of farmers is 58, which makes the residents 751.
Research instrument. We, as a researcher, we conducted our research by giving them survey questions and interviewing our target customers, consumers. This survey questionnaires includes the products, can it benefits to them, and other beneficial things about our product. This research involves 50 respondents, age ranging 18 years old and above. Most of our respondents are farmers in Barangay Parena, Carigara Lake.
Data collection. Finalize the questionnaire. We researchers work on developing a questionnaire that aligns with our research objectives and contains relevant questions. We review and refine the questionnaire to ensure it is clear, concise, and comprehensive. Make multiple copies of the questionnaire. We reproduce the finalized questionnaire in sufficient quantities to distribute to all the participants. This step ensures that each participant receives a copy of the questionnaire to complete. Prepare a letter explaining the purpose of the study and requesting participants' cooperation. We researchers draft a letter that provides an overview of the study's objectives, methodology, and the importance of participants' involvement. The letter emphasizes the need for cooperation and assures participants of confidentiality and anonymity. Personally hand out the letters and questionnaire copies to the participants. We personally distribute the letters and questionnaire copies to each participant. This direct interaction allows us researchers to establish a rapport, create a positive atmosphere, and encourage participation. Take the time to explain the questionnaire and answer any questions the participants have. We allocate time to explain the purpose of the questionnaire, its relevance to the study, and the importance of providing accurate responses. We address any queries or concerns raised by the participants, ensuring that they understand the instructions and are comfortable completing the questionnaire. Collect the completed questionnaires on the same day. After the participants have had an opportunity to complete the questionnaires, we collect them in person. Collecting the questionnaires on the same day minimizes the chances of participants misplacing or forgetting to submit their responses. Organize the data by putting responses into tables. We researchers compile the collected responses and organize them systematically. We create tables or spreadsheets where each row represents a participant and each column corresponds to a question or variable. Analyze and interpret the data using appropriate statistical methods. We employ suitable statistical techniques to analyze the collected data. This analysis may involve calculating frequencies, means, correlations, or conducting more complex statistical tests depending on the nature of the research questions. Understand the findings of the study. Based on the analysis and interpretation of the data, we researchers gain insights into the study's finding. We examine the patterns, trends, relationships, or significant results that emerge from the data analysis, drawing conclusions related to our research objectives. Statistical treatment of data. The data gathered was collected, tallied, and summarized correspondingly by the researchers. The data, which the researchers gathered from the survey questionnaire, was subjected by the statistical treatment in order to ensure the reliability of the results. Purposive non-probability sampling was used to consider the intention of the purpose of the study, and those people who will be selected from the population are those that suit our research best. The researchers conducted a survey, and those who answered no to the question, "Will you be willing to participate in our research?" will be excluded from the data of the samples, and only those who agreed to be part of the research will be included.